You are Locked On Clippers Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Los Angeles on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right. Hello and welcome to the Locked On Clippers Postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. I am Pete Fox. Sorry about the false start there. Kind of like the Clippers. A little bit of a false start tonight. Not the best start, but a solid finish to even the series at 1. Again, I am Pete Fox, Locked On Clippers Postcast host, covering sports in LA dating back to 2007 for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Clippers Postcast is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $250 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. Well, I think it all ended up the way that we want. I think it was exactly as good, as tight, and exciting as we expected. I think the fact that Norm Powell finally found his range is a huge bonus for them because he started 0 for 5. But the biggest story of this game, without a doubt,
this is what you'll be talking about.
Is that Kawhi Leonard single-handedly practically won this game. He put this team on his back tonight. He got it done. He showed off why he has multiple rings, why he is a finals MVP. He showed off why he gets paid the big bucks. He said, come on, let's go, follow me, and took care of business. Again, started 6 for 6. He was 9 of 10 in the first half for 21 points. And, you know, the Denver Nuggets were not making it easy on him. And there were plenty of times when it was kind of, iso ball, to say the least. And you know how I feel about iso ball. If you've watched the podcast at all in the past, not a real big fan. But when it's Kawhi Leonard with the ball, it makes it a little bit easier to swallow. And, Kawhi many times tonight, again, 39 points to lead all scorers. He would just kind of roam around the floor trying to find the best look he could. And sometimes it wasn't even a good look. He'd throw it up and it'd go in. I think his longest cold streak tonight was like 2 baskets late in the fourth quarter, about the 5 or 6 minute mark. He missed a couple of shots. Other than that, he was absolutely unflappable. 15 of 19, 4 of 7 from beyond the arc. Just absolutely dominating on the floor, hitting those spots, banging them down. As Zubats put it, finding his spot and then taking care of business. That is his bread and butter. It was something to that effect. And, he was just unbelievable. And I think from a coaching perspective, it's what you want to see from this team. It's a little bit what we complained about a couple of nights ago. Why weren't they finding Zubats more? Because Zubats was having a fantastic performance a couple of nights ago and has been very good. Tonight, also good. Not great. I mean, a little bit of an off night for him, but I think that has to do with the chances. He was only got 10 looks at the basket, 6 of 10 for Zubats in 40 minutes. For 16 points. He had 12 rebounds, so another double-double and 4 assists. That is a big part of this game tonight. Harden would find Zoo would kick out most of the time to Leonard, and Leonard would hit that shot. So they were moving the ball, they were playing defense, and another big factor in tonight's win, they cleaned up the turnovers in a big way. 20 turnovers a couple of nights ago. Tonight, it started off ugly for them. They were turning the ball over like crazy. The Denver Nuggets were taking advantage. The turnovers would lead to fast break points, easy baskets for them, and they were just running the fast break smooth as silk. Their transition game was dialed in tonight. The Clippers, at that point, 12 points on turnovers. 12 points off of turnovers that were from fast breaks in the first quarter for Denver. That's a big number. And at that point, the Clippers started to force things a little bit. And it wasn't looking good. It didn't feel good at all at that point because Harden missed his first 3 threes and they just had no rhythm at all. But then to start the second, when they were 2 of 12 from beyond the arc, Batum finally hit a 3 and they finished the half 7 of 19 for 36%, which, considering you started the game 2 of 12 from beyond the arc, that is a big uptick for sure. They also had a nice 7-0 run in the final 3 minutes of the first half to take the lead. And things just started to kind of go their way. But, you know, what made this game so great was that it was a nail biter and the Denver Nuggets just kept battling and they wouldn't go away. And they were playing fantastic basketball as well. Jamal Murray, 4 of 8 from beyond the arc for 23. Nikola Jokic was Jokic, except at the free throw line. That was unbelievable. 6 of 10. If he's better at the line where he should be, you know, they win this game. I don't want to say that's exactly what cost him, but it sure as hell didn't help him. Michael Porter Jr., big night, left out with an injury in the final minutes, which to me was a very impactful play for the Clippers.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Yeah, so Michael Porter Jr. had the ball. I think it was after a miss, and he grabbed the rebound. And then here comes Chris Dunn doing what Chris Dunn does, wreaking havoc on defense, forcing turnovers, even though he doesn't necessarily always get the credit for the turnover. He's the one that initiated and instigated the turnover. And this is exactly what happened here. And this, to me, was the turning point. A steal. Norm came away with the ball and hit a huge 3. That was at the 1:30 mark of the game. And that was the game-winning bucket for them, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, that was without a doubt a huge play because you were thinking, all right, Denver's got the ball. Jamal Murray is red hot right at this point in time, and we're under a minute and a half to go. They're going to go down and grab this lead, and the Clippers are going to have to battle back. But that would not be the case. Yeah, 130. Norm made a 26-footer to make it 103-100, and the Clippers would never trail again. Jokic made his final 2 free throws, and Kawhi just kind of playing iso ball, taking over at the 54-second mark, a 21-foot jumper to make it 105-102, which would be the final score. So just a fantastic win, and the Clippers are in this series, and I don't think we're at all surprised the way they finished the regular season, playing as hot as they were. The Nuggets did everything in their power to win this game, but the Clippers were just a little bit better. Again, 105-102 series, all knotted at 1. It's the Locked On Clippers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Clippers postcast is brought to you by FanDuel. You know, the NBA playoffs are obviously here, and FanDuel is giving new customers an incredible way to get in on the action. Charles Barkley likes it. He's getting in on the action right now. When you join FanDuel and place your first $5 bet, you'll get $250 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. FanDuel makes betting so easy, whether it's picking your favorite team or diving in on player props like three-pointer, steals, assists, etc., etc. Plenty to choose from as far as ways to put together interesting bets. You can be very, very creative, and that's what makes it so much fun. So don't miss out. Head to FanDuel.com to claim your $250 in bonus bets today. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Clippers postcast also brought to you by Dash Pass. NBA fans, you know what time it is. It's playoff time. That means big performances and even bigger rewards. DoorDash is bringing the heat with a slam dunk deal from Dash Pass. And if you remember, during the 2025 NBA playoffs, it will pay off for you. It's called They Swoosh, You Score. Anytime a player drops 50 or more in a playoff game, Dash Pass members get a free 3-piece crispy tender combo from Wingstop the very next day. Just place an order of $20 or more. Use the code WINGSTOP50 at checkout, and that combo is yours. Crispy, delicious, and totally free. Free wings from Wingstop. Offer valid noon to midnight the day after the game. Terms apply. Remember, someone's got to score 50. Kawhi was close tonight with 39, but didn't quite get there. So keep your eyes peeled for somebody to put up 50, and you'll get free wings from Wingstop. So here's the play. Sign up for Dash Pass to unlock this and more exclusive deals all season long. When any player scores 50 plus in a playoff game, Dash Pass members can grab a free 3-piece crispy tender combo from Wingstop the next day with a $20 order and the code WINGSTOP50. That's Dash Pass, your door to more savings, more flavor, and more ways to win. Terms apply. All right, Clippers pull this one out. It was a come from behind thriller, and the bottom line for me on this one is everything is still moving along for the Clippers, and some of the things that were unfortunate, or the sore thumbs, as I like to call them, got cleaned up in a big way and in the middle of the game. I mean, when you can make in-game adjustments, that's huge. That is absolutely imperative to being a successful playoff team in any sport, not just basketball. You got to make in-game adjustments. And the Clippers did that tonight. They were ugly with the turnovers in the first quarter. And so were honestly, the Nuggets were too, but not in the first quarter. The Nuggets got out of control later, like in the third quarter, when the Clippers got back into the game and then grabbed the lead. But the Clippers didn't. They cleaned it up in the second half and finished the game with just 11 turnovers versus 20 for the Denver Nuggets. So basically 2 games in, whoever has 20 or more turnovers loses. That's pretty much what we have learned from this one tonight. Nico Batum came in and proved to be another key factor, as he always does. He hit a big 3 when they needed it and kind of got them turned around. They finished the night from beyond the arc, 38%, 13 of 34. That is respectable when you start 2 of 12. As far as the Nuggets, they finished 14 of 32, 43%. The floor percentage, 48 for the Clippers, 46 for the Nuggets. Again, the free throw line was a problem for the Nuggets, 63%. Clippers shot 83%, and that's nice to see. Again, Kawhi Leonard leading the way with 39. I don't know that we need to say this, but let's do it anyway.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
San Diego State alum, Martin Luther King High School alum, Kawhi Leonard. Fantastic performance tonight. That's playoff basketball at its finest. That is MVP quality right there. And it's the reason the Clippers won this game. He single-handedly won this game. Harden was fine, 7 of 17, 4 of 11 from beyond the arc after starting 0 of 5. So that's a nice recovery as well. 7 assists for Harden. He had 4 turnovers. I think they all came in the first quarter. So he got back on track as well. 18 points. Zoo had 16. Norm Powell, who started 0 for 5, ice cold, missing long balls, short balls. He was missing everything. He finished with 13, 5 of 14. So 2 threes, including the game winner, in my opinion. Technically and literally, that was the turning point of the game in the final minute and a half there when Norm Powell hit that 3 after the steal. Chris Dunn, 2 of 7, 1 of 4 beyond the arc, missed some open looks, as did everybody on the Clippers in the first half. They were just not making them find the bottom of the nets when they needed to early in the game. But the good news is they did late in the game. He finished with just 5. Batum had 6, DJ 6. Ben Simmons, who I thought brought that sort of Russell Westbrook energy, was very good. Had 2 points, 1 rebound, 1 very pretty assist, almost 3/4 court pass, which turned into an easy layup for Chris Dunn. And Bogdan, again, 0 for. He was 0 for on Saturday and 0 for tonight. I almost don't like it when he's on the floor right now. I feel like he is a big part of this bench squad, And if he can get going, things are just going to be a little bit easier for them. But right now he's a liability. And it's a nail biting time when the starters are resting in the second quarter, and Batum, Jones, and Simmons, along with Bogdan and usually James Harden, are on the floor. So that wasn't a nice period of time, but they weathered the storm and got going. Russell Westbrook again tonight, a couple of big threes in the fourth quarter, but traveled and stepped out of bounds, and nobody saw that. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Nikola Jokic traveled multiple times tonight, caught a ball at like the free throw line. And I know the catch, Euro step, 1-2 jump is not considered traveling. I don't know how, but I don't want to sit here and, grouse about the same thing we talk about over and over again. But I don't understand how that's not traveling. I thought one step is traveling. That's two steps. But he did that and then added another one and then jumped. I was like, he didn't even bounce the ball at all. I mean, that's star treatment right there. So they got away with traveling a couple of times, and we were lucky that we didn't have a fight there when Jamal Murray picked up Norm Powell around the waist, and then Chris Dunn was ready to throw. I was like, whoa, slow down. And then Jamal Murray only got a common foul. That was an interesting sequence. Van Gundy on the call was like, how does that make any sense? None of that makes any sense at all. So there was a handful of those type of plays tonight where we were like, that's not right. That was wrong. But in the end, it didn't really cost the Clippers all that much. One of the other things that was fantastic about Kawhi's performance tonight is the Denver Nuggets did a fantastic job defending him late in the game. This was about midway through 5-minute mark of the fourth quarter, and they were doubling him, and he had nowhere to go, right? And whoever the open man was at that point was not getting the ball. And if he wasn't making the shot. It was Norm Powell a couple times and Chris Dunn, and they just weren't banging down those shots. But for some inexplicable reason, later in the game, in the final 2 minutes, the Nuggets stopped doubling Kawhi, and they put Aaron Gordon on him solo. And Aaron Gordon's a fantastic defender, but Kawhi scored twice with fadeaways that were clutch. So I don't quite understand why you go away from the double. It was working. Thank you. We'll take it. Didn't make any sense to me at all. That was a weird decision to make right then. I understood why Ty Lue and the Clippers decided to leave Russell Westbrook open, because, he's not going to do that all the time. Well, I mean, I guess tonight he kind of proved us wrong a little bit. He definitely garnered a little bit of attention and respect, right? 14 points, 5 of 11, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc, 2 clutch ones in the fourth quarter. But there were plenty of times where Ty Lue was like, it's fine. It's Russell Westbrook. He's not going to do it again like Saturday. He kind of did. So I have a feeling that he'll garner a different amount of attention come Thursday night. So Clippers win at 105-102. Kawhi Leonard with 39 to lead all. Honorable mention for player of the game to Nikola Jokic. He was fantastic. 8 of 16, 26 points, and a triple-double, 12 rebounds to go with 10 assists. Series level at 1, off for 2 days. So off Tuesday, off Wednesday, back in LA at Intuit Dome for game 3 on Thursday. And I will be here to break it down for you right after it is over. We have Dodgers tomorrow in Chicago on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. Postcast will come right after the game, so make sure you guys join me for that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the comments. Clippers win at 105-102 to even the series in Denver at Ball Arena, heading back to LA. Take care. Have a good night. We'll talk on Thursday.